Welcome.
Recording in progress.
Thank you, Rebecca. July 29th, Warren Select Board meeting. Thank you for coming. First on the agenda, we have public comment. Anyone?
I have a question.
Yes, Alice.
I'm wondering, some of the, what do I call it? The minutes from the meetings have not been written up for the select board since June 24th. I'm just wondering when that's gonna,
No, they have.
they weren't in the tonight's, and I even been checking because I wanted to see what the minutes were, and there aren't any in there since June 24th.
I'll check right now. We've been approving them. Rebecca, do you have any? Are you looking to?
Mm-hmm.
Warren?
Yeah, I haven't just, I mean, Carol, we have somebody else that takes the minutes, so she just, I thought I had put the draft minutes up there, but I can do that this afternoon while I'm on vacation.
Yeah, it looks like 6/24 is the last published minutes or draft.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alice. We'll get them up ASAP. Any other public comment? All right, the first thing on our list is, agenda changes. I think we're good. Warren Wind Down Festival permit.
Yes, we have a revised permit. I have a hard copy, and I think you.
May I have it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get the email.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, talk us through what you're doing.
So the event is now sponsored, co-sponsored by the Warren Planning Commission and the Warren Historical Society. And the alcohol vendor has a quote and is ready to move forward with the additional insurance once we confirm we have the permit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Jenny's here, but she spoke to Jeff Campbell, and they talked about parking, and he suggested parking at the cemetery. He said that was fine. I guess the Pitcher Inn has some parking spots in the municipal lot reserved for an event that they're doing.
Okay.
But he thought that parking up in the cemetery would be okay. And then additionally, the park and ride in Brooksfield as well is necessary.
Okay, just to clarify, the Pitcher Inn doesn't have parking spots reserved for the event. They have parking spots in perpetuity for people that attend the Pitcher Inn, so there are no extra reservations there.
Okay.
Yeah, Rebecca, did you have something to add?
So we can't park vehicles up in the cemetery without the cemetery commission's permission.
Right, that was gonna be my next thought.
Yep.
But I did a little digging on parking in the village in general. And there is no prohibition to parking on the street. So while it might provide some inconvenience for a few hours on one evening, it's not allowed. In my opinion, personally, I would suggest that Flatiron is wide enough that people could park parallel on one side, and it's already a shared roadway, so that might be a good alternative. But I think the cemetery isn't gonna work, right? Would you agree, Jeff, Rebecca?
Oh, Jeff's here, great.
They just need permission from
I'm
the cemetery commission.
secondhand through Jenny, so he might have better intel.
Well, then the cemetery commission would need, I mean, I don't think they'll give it.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think they'll give it. That's my experience.
Okay.
If you give me 1 second, Camilla's on the cemetery commission and she had suggested a couple of things. I want to see if one of them is about parking. Yeah, no, I think it's better to plan not to park there.
Okay.
This
We're
lot,
to reach out
park
to
and
them.
ride, street parking.
The town is comfortable with the available parking?
Yeah, I think I think we both have an appetite to see how this goes and see what happens, and we may need to readdress parking depending on how that works out.
Yeah.
With the understanding that we
want
want to promote events in the village, we want to see community, and let's see what we can do to make it work.
Okay, so that's parking, and we're gonna rent a porta potty, which is gonna be helped by our, new PC sponsorship. And I think that's most of it. There was somewhat of a question about if you needed more from food vendors. We got an email from Rebecca that had some notes from the VLCT, and they mentioned the additional insurance of an alcohol vendor, which we've addressed. There was nothing in that email about food vendors, so I don't know if that meant maybe that they're okay with just the licenses that they would have to have their food truck, or if they need.
If they have, I think we need to see I'm pretty sure we asked for certificates of
Rebecca's got her
insurance.
hand up.
Rebecca, you can just talk.
Well, Jeff, I raised my hand for Jeff, but, I will talk to. I think, I'm glad that Dana's in the room, because I believe that we have to also have certificates of liability from the food vendors.
That's what I was that was what I was just about to say. We had asked for certificates of liability for every vendor.
The town of Board is the additional
Yeah.
insurer, but I can show you a
Yeah.
copy of it.
Okay, but it does apply to food as well as alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, well then that would be the one thing that would be pending.
Okay.
Mary spoke to Yuko about that, and when she ran the East Warren Festival, she went through the kitchen at the East Warren Market. So I think she was gonna try to do that again, and I talked with Felicia about that.
Okay.
They do have, insurance, quick specialty insurance that are not that much.
Okay,
I can give you a name of an insurance
That'd be
agency that
wonderful,
does
yeah.
it.
okay, so yeah, it's just,
And this is something that possibly if they are food vendors should,
yeah, I haven't
Think about it.
asked yet because I was confused on it, but I think Dino Bones and Gracie's have been around, it hopefully it'll be a
I
good
think
thing
It's
to
just a little too
solve.
small to have
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
That would be great if you could put them in touch with someone, and
So-
we definitely need to see those certificates, but I think we can probably move forward with that as a condition.
Can I
Okay.
ask a question
Yeah,
about the
please.
alcohol? So how are you guys, did you get an alcohol caterer who will be catering it?
Yes, it's the
And they have-
local, and they,
And they do have a caterer's alcohol for all things? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yep, and we're
Yeah.
gonna work with them on roping off a space, because, that's sort of their thing, but, the plan is to really circle the green, kind of using the pavilion as borders, but that'll, I think, be their judgment once they see it.
Yeah, how much space they can manage with whatever
Yeah.
staff they bring, right?
And you just need one entrance and exit, and it just needs to be watched, but you guys they'll know that.
Okay,
We have volunteers, I've spoken to a few
Okay.
people that want to volunteer
Cool.
with parking and all that.
Do you want to
Devin,
finish your? Yeah.
So one question I have is, I suggested to Jenny that why not consider having it up at the Brooks Field? There's porta potties up there already. I suggested that she talk to Pierre, because I know they've had bands up there before when they did a fundraiser. There's plenty of parking up there. So I'm just trying to understand, with an event going on at a business in the village, with the fire department having training that night and needing parking spaces, why is it that they just didn't seem to think that having it up there would be a better option?
well, the purpose of our event, which we put in our first permit, is to highlight the new pavilion, is one point, and then another purpose is to bring more activity to the village. So if that were the circumstance, I think that the response would have been to maybe pick a new date, but event at Brooksfield is just not sort of the core of what we're doing.
Yeah, that makes
It's-
sense to
It's
me.
about the village,
Yeah.
sort of.
I didn't know that the fire department had training.
We have something
Jenny
for the
did
fire
tell me
department.
that, I was sorry
Wednesday.
about that.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna be here.
Well, I think I hear your input there, and maybe Wednesday going forward might not be the best day. I don't know. I'm okay with trying this one. Alice.
I'd like to bring up parking again, because obviously they're gonna be trying to park in front of my house. And I don't really want people parking in front of my house, and I do believe I can designate that. Because of the 4th of July, and I've been here 30 years, so I've never objected to the library events or the church events, or small or short, you know, funerals, whatever, but we're now talking about a higher level of an event. And this is going to affect residents in the village. It's only 2 doors down from me, so I'm obviously gonna hear it. And, yeah, no, it's a concern, and I know this is the first one. I'm trying to keep an open mind, but I am gonna push this parking issue because I actually think it's quite dangerous to make Main Street one way. And that will happen with 30 to 90 people is what you said last week.
Yeah, I think it's really important that we keep parking in mind as we move forward. The town right-of-way extends beyond the width of the road. So I don't know that you can, I mean, you can do what you'd like in front of your spot, Alice, but I think it's only reasonable to allow parking on our main road. Like I've said,
There's a stop sign, right?
well, you can't park
On my property.
Right. I think I've said it would be wise to use Flatiron, which would cause the least obstruction. And if it's one way, it's one way. It's, you know, it's 3.5 hours. Let's see how it goes this first time, and we can talk about parking. We'll recap and say, hey, did this work? What needs to change? Do we need a parking plan? Is this realistic? And I hear your concern.
Devin, who's going to do the traffic control for it if it's one-way traffic? Vermont state statute requires that if you're going to change a road from 2-way to 1-way, you're going to have traffic control for it.
I don't think we're trying to make it one way.
Yeah.
I don't think we're trying to make it one way. I think that what people are worried about is that if there's parking along the sidewalk, that there's not enough travel for two. I don't know. I just don't know the dimensions of the road. Can you have parking next to the sidewalk on the post office side and have 2 ways of traffic going down it?
No way.
Oh,
No, and it happens every single day with the post office. Like,
but not
this
a
is
steady line of cars parked along the sidewalk.
There have been
1 car, 2 cars maybe, but not to have it steady.
There
That's
have
the
been
drawback.
funerals and other events. I would strongly urge that we avoid parking on Main Street. Direct people to the lots as discussed. If needed, Flatiron seems like the most responsible backup.
And we can put that in our flyer and make sure people are encouraged to park on the bus.
You can also have a conversation with the cemetery. If that hasn't happened, have a conversation. And
You
they
could.
may graciously say, hey, this is a one-time event, let's try it.
I'm happy
You
to
know,
reach out to them.
And if
And-
there's 70 or 90 people, let's go to Brookfield.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Right. And if that occurs and continues, there's an opportunity to talk to someone about dropping off some golf carts and having someone shuttle people if they're gonna be parking at Brooksfield, right? Like, there are ways that we can solve this problem. Let's be creative. And Camilla serves on the cemetery commission. Y'all can reach out to her. Charlie Snow, Jeff Campbell. Who's the other one? Brennan, town clerk.
And Julie.
And Julie
Burns.
Burns.
So
Thank
come
you.
to the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and
I
then,
think my other question is what's going to happen with all the trash, and who's going to be in charge? So when we have a neighbor that's complaining because somebody is fully parked on their lawn, who's going to be responsible for, making sure that the car gets moved or the trash gets taken out of the town because we have a serious bear problem and it's not fun to pick up trash the next morning. So I think those are my concerns as well.
Yeah, we're all planning to take care of the trash. We're gonna bring large trash bins and make sure everything's cleaned up at the end and then take them with us. I have a pickup truck.
I also have a pickup truck.
will you guys be identifiable in some way so that someone who has an issue or a concern, like if you have a volunteer badge or a vest or something?
Yeah, we could do that.
Same
Some
here.
kind of
Get some
I can
hats.
make you sparkly shirts.
Yes? Thank you. So
Yeah, no, even if it's like you're all wearing red or like whatever,
pretty easy. Yeah.
that would be awesome to make sure everybody knows. I think it is important that we lay out who is responsible for those kinds of things. And so, under, security, crowd and noise control, just understanding that the volunteers being who?
Us and Adam and Jenny, and then
I
Sam.
have my partner and my neighbor who's ready to also help.
Is it
I'm
Ellie?
sure, yeah, Ally wants to
You know
help.
Ellie.
We have a few other people ready.
Okay.
And are you gonna pay to have the constable be in town for that night?
Isn't he kind of always on call?
But he gets paid, so, I mean, yes, he's on call, but that's when, somebody from the town needs him. This is a separate event.
Right.
Or the sheriff's department, or the state police. I mean, I think we need to have some type of presence in the village.
We need a cop to have
I
a
don't
band.
know that we need a presence, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to inform the sheriff's department that we're having an event, so that you guys, you don't agree?
The way that people go through that village? No, I don't.
Thank you.
The 40, 50, 60, 75 people, I think that there needs to be, if there's parking all over, I just feel very strongly that there's gonna be an accident of some sort. I'm not opposed to this event at all. I think it's great. I just want to make sure that, all we hear from concerned citizens is the speed through the village, and now we're adding an event. But that's just my concern.
Sam?
Concern for the town.
Did Waitsfield have a cop every time they did this?
No,
No.
no.
I
Oh, it's on
also,
private property.
And it,
I'm curious about parking for the next event that's happening in like 4 days after ours for the church event.
Yeah,
And I'm wondering what their plan is. And I'm just curious of like, maybe we can learn from each other if we're having to answer these questions.
I'm
What
also
the
gonna say
town's
something, is
proposing.
that we're having the opening for the pavilion
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Vermont Jazz Ensemble on the 12th. We are gonna have probably an issue with parking, so please.
Yeah, we need
Let's figure
to,
this baby
I'm
out.
We
okay
need to
being
solve
like
this.
one person to figure this out first, but also,
No,
feels
we
like
just,
we're all
we need
just-
to work together
yeah.
on this, so.
Yeah, I also think that there's not gonna be fire department training that night. There's not gonna be an event at the Pitcher Inn that night, so there's all sorts of
Yeah.
things that are, contributing factors to it.
The church parking is usually within the municipal law, so that's usually not an issue even with the barbecue that they're planning on having. So I
aren't they
don't,
planning on like 50 people though?
but it's off and on, it's during a period,
Yeah.
I think from, 11 to 2:30 or
Oh,
something for the barbecue.
No, it's
I
from
wouldn't be
5 to
surprised if
7.
it's
See how
It's
slow
all
now?
over.
See?
Yeah.
And people come in cars
have
like
30
family
people.
groupings, it's,
Yeah.
they're, we don't ever seem to go out of this parking lot for the
Right.
number of people we have.
Gotcha.
And we may not either.
Yeah, it is day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recognize all of the concerns that people have, and I really am inclined to allow us a little bit of leniency here and see how this goes. I think it's a good cause. I think it's creating community and providing an opportunity for people to come together, which is why the town voted to put a structure on the green. Like, let's put our thinking caps on, how do we make this work, instead of here are all of the punitive things you need to do to get there. I would appreciate that. So personally, I'm okay with the plan that we have for parking right now. I don't think that we need to pay to have a sheriff here. I do think it's a good idea to call the sheriff's department and let them know, which, Rebecca, it would be great if we could do that on our end.
Yeah, maybe if they're not busy, they'll just swing through. If they know.
They
about
could, they could say, oh, okay, that would be a good night to do some patrol hours, because we have patrol hours anyway. So we shouldn't necessarily have to pay them more for a town-sponsored event. We could just ask them to do a couple of laps, be in the area. Which is probably beneficial for the event attracts as well. What else?
Did I just ask, and you may, Devin, tell me this isn't for tonight, but another topic at another meeting. But the town of Warren and the planning commission the village has been designated a non-growth, it's not a growth center. It's always Sugar Bush, has been. I don't know if that was changed. I was hoping Camilla would be here tonight because this goes back, you know, a number of years. So my concern is, actually, does this event list that seems to be interested in performing at the pavilion, would that even come under something like this? Because you are promoting more activity in the village, and it is a residential village, so.
Yeah, I think that is probably a conversation for another night as far as how downtown is designated. I do know that, at least from a planning commission perspective, and Jim, please weigh in here, that the village has been identified as a place for infill development with a desire to increase residency in the village
But
area.
that's not an event, so, because this is different. So that's why I'm wondering, excuse me, whether this even comes under the permit process. And then again, since I brought up the word permit, yes, I would like to see this group and all the groups pay a permit to use the green. And you all thought that, you know, was ridiculous last week, or you didn't want to do it because you don't let other people. Well, I think it's about time we start charging, because all of us are facing tough times. And if we're paying for some of this through our tax dollars, I'm not happy with that.
I think that's a really good point. And Camilla noted in an email, she's sorry she couldn't be here, that, you know, we're sort of taking this summer as a learning opportunity, because the pavilion's new, the idea of having an event on the green is new, and we need to figure out what that permitting structure looks like, who's allowed to use it, and how we go about doing that. So I think that's really valuable input, and you're right. We need to think about what are the cost ramifications of putting on parties like this, who bears those costs, and let's gather some research with these few that we're gonna see in the next couple of months.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because currently we're not putting any money into it, right? I mean,
Well-
you guys are kind of putting the bill.
We're not putting any money into it. The only thing that I have suggested is that we pay the sheriff for a certain number of hours a week, and we could ask that some of the hours for that week be on that evening. Okay, Harvey, do you have any thoughts? Anything you want to add?
No.
So I think we go forward with this under the condition that we get the insurance with the vendors, and I think
You have the certificates of
and
insurance
the
with,
understanding of the parking, and I think we can just press forward with this.
is that a motion?
That's a motion.
So on the condition that we see certificates of liability with the town of Warren as additionally insured for the vendors.
So I just have a question. So,
Sorry,
Oh,
Jim, 1 second. Do I have, one second. Do I have a second?
Second?
Okay, any further discussion? Jim?
if we wanted to be so if the Historical Society wanted to be a vendor, meaning selling ice cream or just doing scoops out of the barn,
Right.
that means we gotta go kind of all in on being a real vendor.
Yeah, I think this is, Dana, maybe you can weigh
What do
in
you
on
think?
this.
It's a town, you're under the town liability. If it's a town event, this is not a town event. This is not the pavilion opening is a town event.
Well,
Dog
it is
park.
sponsored by the Historical Society and the Planning Commission, so I think in our world, we're imagining
And
it's
they
a
were
town
talking about serving ice cream in the historical society too, not on the green.
I think this is, I think the lines are getting a little bit blurry right now.
Okay. Oh,
And-
that's
and
fair. I'm
I-
just
I-
trying to figure it out.
I think it's a different, I believe, and Rebecca will correct me, but I believe that it's a separate event using the town green as an event for a Wind Down Wednesday. You can work with the planning commission, but it can't be, I don't think it can be a town-sponsored event. That's.
Why do you feel
Because
that?
I think that the liability gets a little bit hairy and it's a VLCT conversation. if
We
somebody.
did have input from VLCT.
Yeah,
You
Rebecca,
have
do you
had
want, yeah, we have.
Oh, that's
Rebecca,
fine.
will you clarify
Okay.
on that? I think they said that it sounded like we had what we needed with, with the addition of the certificates of insurance.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I can't find it.
So from what I recall, our liability insurance basically covers it. The vendors providing their own insurance for themselves,
Correct.
the alcohol vendor providing insurance for that. And otherwise, the reason for the select board requiring a town sponsor is that we have agreed that we're not willing at this time to reserve the green for non-town sponsored events, right? We don't want someone to say, I want to throw my wedding on the town green. Can we reserve it? We'd like it to be an open public forum.
Okay.
So that's the justification behind the select board and the planning commission
Okay.
stepping up and taking it on. But can you just clarify about like what your thought process was behind like selling ice cream or selling
Well,
baked goods or?
I think it's fine for a town. If you're a town committee, then you can sell ice cream on the town property, and it goes into your coffers of the historical society. I think the weird line, you guys, is vendors. You're having not a private event, but kind of, it's your idea, you came to us, it's not the July 4th.
The idea actually came out of the planning commission.
Okay, don't know this, so.
Yeah, because this is a continuation of meeting
Okay,
one, so.
so if it's a planning commission's event, then they need to handle the whole thing. So,
Yeah.
I'm on we are handling it.
They are.
and you guys are both on the planning commission.
Well, he's
Michelle
not, but
is.
there's three of us that are, four of us. There's
Okay.
4 planning commission members that are actively involved in planning and running the event. And then the other 2 members are very on board.
Okay, so this would be a town event.
Right.
It's a
Yeah,
tough,
that's,
I think,
I think we asked this question at the last meeting and they said it wasn't a planning commission event. So I guess I'm a little confused.
Well, it seems like they got,
Approved.
the
Yeah,
planning
we-
commission
we have to get
decided
it
to help
confirmed.
sponsor.
But the idea did come out of the planning commission, and then, we sort of took the planning the next step and brought it back to them and said,
Yeah.
okay,
I think
these are
that's
the
fine.
details, and do you guys wanna vote on this?
Yeah.
Um,
Honestly, this is new for all of us.
no, I
We're
think
all
it's great.
walking through
I
this
think
the
if it
first
goes
time.
off into a next section and it gets too big, I really believe that you need to separate this and put it up to Brookfield. I think it needs to all be moved over there. Because there's a ton of things going on up there. There's Monday night, they have the Frisbee thing, they have the pickleball, they have tennis, they have the dog park where they're having a huge big event in October. The skateboard park has more events up there. So I think if the parking is an issue and people are upset, then we just move it up there. And I think that you guys have a good handle on it. It seems like we all don't know.
We don't know.
So, and that's pretty cool because I love that you're using the green for doing something like that. If it gets huge, you guys aren't idiots.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
to
I
move
mean,
away.
we don't know.
No.
We don't know.
What's gonna
Yeah, I think we
But
need
I
to
will
just
say,
see.
we're 3 weeks out, so it's gonna, I don't expect it to get huge. And I think it's probably good that we're a little bit late notice, have a quieter first one, see how the
Right.
logistics
I
go.
think it's, yeah. I
Yeah.
think it opens the door for people coming to the green.
Yeah.
Whether it's a small amount or
Just
a-
community.
exactly.
Right.
I think it's
Yeah,
good.
people
And
can know what it feels like to
Right.
sit at the tables or in the pavilion. and-
Right. So if it is a town, if you're doing the historical society and they're selling ice cream, then that goes to you. The vendors just need to have the certificate of liability to cover them.
yeah, I think the point being that as long as those proceeds
The
are
historical
going,
societies.
Well,
as long as those
Yeah.
proceeds
Yeah.
are going to a town committee,
Correct.
then it makes,
Correct.
it's fine. But like if you personally, Jim Kraft's like, oh, I could have banked tonight.
No, and that's
That might
it.
not be great.
And that's why the vendor money for the food vendors will go to the food vendors, basically, or.
Well,
I
so
don't-
if they do well enough, we are able to take a percentage, which would go to the planning commission.
Great. Great. And throw another event. or
Yeah.
do something else.
Exactly, so I'm not
Or
gonna-
pay the porta
I
potties.
can't say for sure that we'll be able to take a
Right.
fee, because it really just depends how many people come and if they have good
I think it's
sales.
a great.
But if they do,
Yeah.
they'll give us a fee and that will go to PC.
I'm excited to see how it goes. We will work out the details. We'll ask the sheriff's department to be in the area if they can, please, knowing that we have at least 2 events going on in the village. And we have a motion, we have it seconded, conditioned on the certificates of liability, and I'd love to take a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. There are only 3 of us here this evening. The motion passes. Congratulations, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm in.
We will get this signed and scanned back to you,
Okay.
And should we just send all the certificates of liability
to Rebecca.
to Rebecca?
Yes, please. And Dana, did you just say you'd put them in touch with something?
You can swing by if you need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reach out, and her email address is also on the website.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll get this signed and sent back to you. Thank you both.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Hope to see you there.
Okay, what's next?
Church barbecue tent request.
Church barbecue tent request.
I'm Sue Stayer, my husband Doug, we're members of the church,
Hi, Sue.
and in charge of the barbecue this year, so.
Yeah, tell us what you got going on.
What we plan to do is our normal barbecue. We have between 50 and 75 people that come. It's a community event. It's a fundraiser, which the church then gives that money to, this time, Meals on Wheels, to the senior center. So what they do is they cook the meat, and people donate the food, and we need a tent to keep people out of the sun or out of the rain. And we usually set up, what is it, 10 tables? About 10 tables. So although we probably would like to put the musician, if we could, in the pavilion, we can't put the people in there to eat. It's much too small. And we thought, in the past we've used the library tent and put it over by the library. That way it's sort of off to one side. But we would like permission to do that. It's August 16th, so we'd probably put it up on the 15th if possible. If not, we'll do it the morning of the 16th, but.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I don't think possible.
I guess I'm wondering, you guys do this all the time.
Every
So
year.
I know,
Every
it's a
year,
little bit
every year,
different, and now
yes.
we're going through this process of trash and porta potties and all
We
this,
always
but,
clean up after ourselves.
Yeah.
We have the bathrooms available at the church
At
for
the
our
church,
people. I mean,
okay.
it's people that we know, so.
and parking is through
And
the, at the
parkman
lot.
works on the lot.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Okay. With the understanding, and you all know this anyway, that the green is open to the public at all times, right?
Sure.
So we're not keeping them off.
The public's invited.
Yeah, yeah, great. And no alcohol?
No,
Okay.
it's a church.
I think we're perfectly happy. I mean, what do you think about putting the tent up?
That's fine.
I'm fine with
It's your
putting the
tent.
tent
The
up.
library's tent. I mean, are you happy with
I
it?
started there, making
So-
sure she allows.
Yeah, as long as they're willing to let you use it. I think personally, I would like to see it up for no longer than a week, which is unfortunate because it's so difficult to put up and take down. But, you know, the pavilion is there for rain and shade and all of the things, and we don't want to crowd the green. Joel, what are your
There's-
thoughts?
I know that from our last meeting that there's a, we're trying to couple 2 things, aren't we? Like there's a church event and then there's the library 125
Yeah.
and birthday kind of thing.
Yep.
A what?
So what are the dates?
So on September 7th? No, whatever the Sunday is. 7th, September 7th, we're doing an ice cream social with Storybook Character Visit by Elephant and Piggy, if you're familiar with them. And we also have the Arts Bus coming, which is a mobile art studio, and a woman who runs it who's going to be doing a community art project. So that is an event that we have scheduled
On the 7th?
on the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of one of those things of, well, we weren't gonna have the tent up, but then the church approached us and we're like, well, then if we're bothering to put it up, do we keep it up for the 3 weeks, month, I don't know. 3
Yeah,
weeks.
I mean, if it ends up being 4, basically, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna take it down right after the event.
Right.
Well,
Which then if that bumps up too,
the pavilion opening is that
Right.
following weekend.
which, does the tent go down because then the pavilion is the centerpiece? Or does the tent stay up because we have a whatever piece band, jazz band coming?
17-piece jazz band.
That'll take up the whole pavilion in and of itself.
Yeah, correct. We don't, we don't know. If it's rain, then we're gonna go upstairs, so that's not an issue. So we can watch weather and take it down after Pygmy and Elephant if we need to, but we don't know. We also we're hoping to have a vendor who will be doing the alcohol, and local might be doing it also, so we were gonna
Try and rope off
the tent and have that
Yeah.
as wine, and then have a picnic area if the tent was far enough back, and then we had
Yeah,
a
we don't
green.
care exactly where it's.
Yeah, if the tent was far enough back, and then we had the green for people to sit and picnic and use the tables, that's what we're looking for. And then the pavilion would be separated, by the tent, because it would be in the far corner. And that's what we were looking for both of the events that we're looking at.
So when is that, Dana?
It's on that Saturday.
13th?
Yes,
13th.
yeah. And it's from 5:30 to 8:30, and they will start a little bit after 5:30, in that zone, 5:30 to 6, and then they play for 2.5 hours. Not straight, but blocks of 45, 50 minutes, an hour, something like that.
So I love the tent. I love all of these events. This is making me really happy. And I think my concern is just that we get into a situation where, like, oh, well, we left the tent up for a month last year, we're gonna leave the tent up for another month next year, and now we've got all this stuff on the pavilion, or on the green, and it's just crowded, and, I would like not to see that. So I wonder if there is a world in which, going forward, we could get a couple of small pop-up tents so they could go up for events and come down after events, right? Like 2 10 by 10s or
The
something.
library already owns one.
You
That
do?
we loan out.
That isn't
A 10
this
by
big
10.
one?
No, we've got a 10 by 10 pop-up,
Yeah.
but then we've got the 20 by 20, that's the actual event tent
event.
that is a proper.
Right, event tent.
Yeah.
So is there a world in which that smaller tent could be used for any of these, or the big tent could be put up for the, if the church wants to deal with putting it up for their event, and then you guys deal with putting it up for your event, and it could come down in between? Is that,
I don't think we physically, you guys.
it's really
You're the
challenging.
oldest people in the world that are putting up this tent. And one year it was Marie, Bob, Pete, and I. Yeah.
I know, I helped that year, it's
is-
challenging.
We wash it every single time, we roll it up, we pack it away.
Yeah.
It's not something that
Should go up and come down.
weekly. It would be a tough thing because
Yeah.
we don't have a young crew.
Yeah, we don't have a crew.
Right,
Right.
we had the highway guys help us one year, but we can't depend on that.
Right.
We can't keep asking the highway guys to help us
I
to
know.
do that.
So how do we solve this? How do we allow for the tent when it's needed and not have it clustering the green for a long period of time?
Maybe in the future, the church could consider pushing our picnic toward the end of August rather than the middle. If there was a continuing
Well,
event.
I don't think the library's turning 125.
No, we're not.
Thank God we're not.
Right.
The Lord is here.
I appreciate your willingness to accommodate.
We forgot what year it was, it'll happen again next year.
But Devin, I don't think we're gonna be doing it anymore. I don't think the opportunity will happen that we are gonna have large events like something like this. Just because, except for the church barbecue, 250 or 100.
225.
Yeah, see how,
125.
the library.
We're not gonna see that for another 25 years.
We're not gonna open the
Exactly.
pavilion anymore. We're gonna have events like you know,
The wind down.
what these guys are
maybe,
gonna
or-
be doing. And if we need to move them up to Brookfield, they'll use pop-up tents, you know what I mean? Or they'll figure out a tent system, or we'll.
Or they'll borrow the
Borrow the
tent.
library tent up
And
there.
there's a young crew ready and willing. Yeah.
But I'm saying, I don't think it's gonna happen, I think this is just a fluke if they've all lined up
Yeah.
for every single weekend. I don't think, and no one, we didn't like taking that tent down in October.
No,
It was the worst washing.
Cold.
It was freezing and windy and no
it was
one.
November, because it was after Halloween.
Oh, it was November, after. And we're not gonna be, we're not keeping it up for Halloween this year. You know, there's no reason to at this point, so.
Harvey, do you have any thoughts?
It sounds like this year could be understood as a one-time situation where you had a series of events in a row that wouldn't happen in the future. So I think, the practicality of leaving it up seems to be pretty compelling.
Joel?
Well, it sounds like it will be up for the wind down as well. Maybe we can employ those dudes to help us out putting it up and taking it down, right?
They're-
Won't it overlap? Isn't it in
They're
between?
on the 20th.
They're on the 20th. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can rope them into helping set it up.
Call it wind down, tent up.
So, I'm perfectly happy to agree that the tent can go up for the library. I think we'd like to just put stipulations on it. It sounds like you need it for the 16th of August?
16th, yeah, it's a Saturday.
Okay, so if it goes up that week, sometime after the 13th,
We pretty much never put it up
Until the
until
night
the
before.
day
right?
before.
the day before, that's helpful. So if it goes up on the 15th of August, can it come down by the 15th of September? That's 2 days after the pavilion event?
I don't see why we couldn't, it all depends on Pete and
I
Bob being
will,
around.
I will say we will not have him to take it down because he'll be fishing in Montana.
We'll
But,
have Bob around.
but we can
We'll
but
have
taking
Bob.
it down is not the,
We can,
is not as
we know how to
challenging
do that.
as.
Putting
but-
it up, you and I
Yes,
could not
we
do that
could.
by ourselves.
And also, like,
it is
he's
sand.
so careful about it being safe going up when it's coming down.
It's really
It
simple.
doesn't matter if we pack it away badly.
I think so too. I think we can do that.
Yeah.
And then we'll have Bob and we can get the field hockey team or something to help us. Right?
Sure.
The Costa Rican field hockey team?
The World Cup. field.
Oh, the World Tour, okay. How does that sound? Harvey, what do you think? A month, August 15th to September 15th?
Yeah, I like putting parameters around it. I think that's great.
And location, you're thinking, the
The tree.
tree is coming down.
Yes.
Oh.
The ash tree
But
is
it's
coming down.
like
Thursday,
this
this-
week.
Did they say when it's coming?
This
Rebecca, do
Thursday.
you know when Whitney's
Thursday.
Yeah,
coming?
she sent out an email this morning.
Thursday, I sent everybody an email this morning.
Was there a dead tree or?
It's dying. Sad. We're all a little bit sad.
So could we put it over as close to that tree zone as possible on the edge of the
Yeah,
pavement?
yeah,
So
I
it's
think
tucked
that's a
away
good
back there?
idea,
Are
just
you
being
okay?
mindful that people don't limit
Yeah,
parking.
I know.
Well, the stakes you need at least, what is it,
Yeah,
6
6
feet
feet.
Yeah.
or so for the stakes.
I think that's a good
anyway,
idea,
so-
that back corner where,
back
basically where the tree was. Jim, are you okay with that from a Blair Barn perspective?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have a motion
Yes.
to set the tent up on the green in the southeast corner,
From the 15th to the 15th.
August 15th to September 15th? So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion?
And I'll be honest, the tent is a pain in the butt. Like, I've even considered, do we sell it at this point? Because really, we got it through a grant
Yeah, let's sell it
For
and buy
the-
another pop-up tent.
for the, during COVID or whatever, and it takes up pretty much all of our closet next door. It's really heavy.
But anyway, so it's,
You have my privilege to sell it after the 15th of
We should
September.
keep it for events going on to the
down
Brookfield
to
at this
Brooksfield.
point. Because I do think.
But then maybe it needs to go somewhere else.
Right.
Jim just cleaned out the basement.
In the new garage. Like, can we
How about
carve
that-
out a
how
spot
about
in the
that
garage?
shed
In the
up?
mezzanine.
The shed up there, to be continued. Update from the rec committee at another
But
time.
yeah, I would love to find a new place for it to
Yeah, I
live.
think that would be, we could put it up on Brookfield too.
Okay.
In that sense.
Shall we vote on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Go forth and barbecue.
Great, thank you.
Come and enjoy the barbecue.
Okay, I will try. There are so many events. I'm scheduling them on my calendar as we're doing this.
Okay, that's it.
Doug, Pete is available either the 15th or the 16th.
Okay, is that all
Yeah.
on our agenda?
Do you want us to talk about the pavilion opening, or can we just send you a note? Because
Can you send us a note and
I know,
we'll
yeah,
talk
we'll
about it
tell.
at another meeting
Do we?
when we have more people?
I don't know, well, I don't know if we need to expand on it.
Well, we
because
may
we're
need a
just-
festival permit, and we just made the planning commission and the historical society
Yeah.
fill one out.
I think we should just do a festival permit, just, you know, to keep all the lines of
And then
communication
we'll have all the
flowing in.
certificates of insurance and everything filed
Yeah.
away. So let's, if you could get all of that together and then get it to Rebecca and we'll put it on a meeting
So
and
then,
tell the world.
I have a question then, because we've never done festival permits as the library for any of our stuff. So is this now gonna be a new,
The
like,
slippery slope of festival
Yeah.
permits.
I think this is different just because there's potential for a lot of people to come into town. But that's just sort of my,
Well, 17-piece jazz
but I
band.
guess in a way, we should make the church do a festival permit for their barbecue.
That's what I'm
No.
saying.
right,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah,
We need
I
to
think
go to
Sam
the
was
festival.
raising that issue just now.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
We've never done it before.
I
mean,
know.
For town events, we have.
I think we need to, and this speaks to Camilla's point, we need to get some clarity on what our process is for this. And I don't think a festival permit needs to be a punitive thing. It just needs to be, hey, the town, the public know this is happening, there's a fee structure associated with it, and maybe that fee structure is different for private events or privately sponsored events than it is for town-sponsored events. And maybe that's how we deal with allowing a privately sponsored event to happen in a public space to which the public is welcome, which is very different than like, hey, we're having a wedding and nobody else is allowed here.
I don't
So,
think we could do that on public property.
I mean, we don't wanna do that on
No,
public
we
property,
shouldn't be
so,
able to. I mean, if you have your wedding in a park, you gotta deal with the person sitting in the middle of your wedding.
Yeah.
That's just part of
but don't
being
we
in a park.
rent next door for private events?
But
we
that's-
do,
it-
we do,
Yeah,
which is where, right.
yeah.
Tricky.
But that isn't a public building that's open all the time. So I don't know, I think we need to have this conversation and I appreciate and would value everyone's participation in that and sort of building a structure around this.
I just have one more comment on
Yeah.
the green itself,
Yeah,
which is there's enormous interest in the green now, and I appreciate the fact, Devin, that you are clarifying how many tents and picnic tables. I mean, it's just, to me right now, it's starting to look a little cluttered.
Right.
And it was meant to be a green for anyone, but obviously we are changing this, and I appreciate your concerns for us as village residents.
yeah, I think we want it to be, we want it to be like a park where people can gather, where people can find peace and calm and conversation and community. And there are a number of ways that I think we can provide that. And that means like maybe some structured events where there's time for more people. And then also in general, most of the time, it's lovely, you know, and it is
But-
quiet.
But that's, I mean, that's placemaking, right?
Yeah.
This was a example of placemaking.
Yeah.
I started off with the 2 plastic Adirondack chairs.
Right,
Those get used.
right.
People are
Then
out
the
there-
picnic
And then
tables,
the
right?
picnic tables, right, and so that does make me feel like snowball of stuff on the green. But I also see people using
Yeah.
All day long.
the things that are out there.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love that. And you know, and seeing people use the pavilion and having lunch and having conversations, it's lovely. And I think
People are on video calls out there. there.
Right, and I think it's really important, Alice, what you're saying is important. We need to be mindful of how we move forward with this. How far does it go? What are the parameters around it? Let's be respectful of town residents and our placemaking.
And I hope the tables are taken out in the winter.
I don't think there's anywhere to store them.
There's
No, and
anywhere to
they
set
they
them.
are
Problem.
used in the winter. though.
Yeah.
That
No, they're not.
Oh,
I mean,
we
I
built-
go out there,
we
as you
built
know, a
snowmen
lot,
on them.
and there's-
Right.
they're not
I think this is a really valuable conversation that we should continue.
Yeah, no, not.
I wanna go
not
home.
I
Are
move
we-
to adjourn.
I second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay,